Hey y'all, it's Friendly Neighborhood Therapist again. And look, another thing I want to talk about on this evening. Now, this has been a conversation for a little while now, anyway, from different things such as the character Mary and Sinners, and just in general within the Black diaspora. But identity and Blackness. So, the new Pope, Pope Leo XIV, has a very complex ancestral background, heritage, ethnic background. Here's what, though. I'm going to give y'all a little lesson today because I promise you, race and ethnicity be whooping y'all behinds, first of all. Say this with me, class. Race is a social construct that was made up. Ethnicity or an ethnic group is a group of people who identify with each other on the basis of perceived shared attributes that distinguish them from other groups. And these attributes typically include common language, culture, common sets of ancestry, tradition, society, religion, history, or social treatment. Okay? So that is not race. Now, that being said, let's talk about good old Pope Leo XIV's ancestry, shall we? So he himself was born in Chicago, Illinois, to his parents Louis Marius Prevost and his mother Mildred Martinez. Now his father is of French and Italian descent. His mother is of Spanish descent. He is a naturalized citizen of Peru, where he spent many years working as a missionary and bishop. Now, as far as his black heritage, and I don't even want to say black, it would be better for us to say his African or diaspora heritage. As far as that goes, he has Creole roots. Now, anybody who knows anything about being Creole already know that this means that his family, someone in his family, is from New Orleans or Louisiana. So, this is on his maternal side. Pope Leo's maternal grandparents, Joseph Martinez and Louise Baquet, were Creole people of color from New Orleans, Louisiana. Historical records, including the 1900 census, list Joseph Martinez as black, with his birthplace as Haiti. His grandmother, on the other hand, was considered a black Creole. So both of his maternal grandparents were listed in the census as black because back then the one drop rule was still a thing, and any black ancestry had you listed as black, whether you could pass or not. Now, I don't know what his maternal grandparents looked like, but we get so stuck on only identifying with the phenotypical traits. Like, if you don't look black, you're not black. That's where we're at now. In 2025, that is where we are. If you don't actually look black, you cannot say you're black. That's how people view that. This is not historically how race was viewed. Then you have to take into account that there is political alignment, social alignment, and legal alignment. Legally, legally, if it was, let's say, 1935, Pope Leo would legally be black, whether you like it or not. He would be. Pope Leo got the same amount of black in him that Mary from Sinners got. He would be considered an octoroon. He'd be listed as mulatto or mixed race, period, point blank. His grandparents, his mama's parents, would be listed as black, period. They would be listed as mulatto, but they would be identified as black, whether you like it or not. Because, see, back then, it had less to do with phenotype and everything to do with genealogy. hmm That one drop rule meant one drop in your ancestral line, and you were black, period. Now, we don't go by that anymore. The one drop rule was always stupid, but y'all can't sit up here and deny his ancestry, which is what sounds like some people are doing. But like me, the reason why I say y'all need to stop trying to claim people who don't want to be claimed is because this man does not identify as black. Regardless of that ancestry, he identifies as white, as did his parents. Okay, so let's go into that a little bit. So, John Prevost, the Pope's brother, confirmed the accuracy of the family records but stated that they did not identify as black and never discussed their Creole roots. The family was listed as white in the 1910 and 1920 censuses after migrating to Chicago from Louisiana, reflecting a common practice among families seeking to escape racial segregation. Y'all really need to stop trying to bring people into a space that they don't want to be in, one, that they do not claim, two, and that they do not have the experience of. Okay? Let me break down one more thing for y'all real quick. So, being black involves more than just phenotype. I know that that is all y'all like to pay attention to and care about. Does your skin look brown or black? Then you can be black. But there is more to it than that. And this is why there are some black folks who look black who I would instantly say they ain't kinfolk. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't care what your skin look like. That takes more than that to be black. Okay? So being black involves both social, political, and legal realities. Socially, it signifies a shared identity and experience related to skin color with a history of systemic racism and discrimination. Politically, it encompasses the struggle for representation, civil rights, and fair treatment within the legal and political systems. And legally, nowadays, it refers to the rights and protections afforded to Black individuals under the law, as well as the ongoing impact of discriminatory laws and practices on their lives. Now, back in the day, legally meant what they marked you down as. This is where the one drop rule used to be a legal standing. Okay, so to be legally Black back then meant a little something different than to be legally Black right now. But here's what collective identity and experience is super important to Blackness. Okay, there are some Black people who don't have the collective identity and experience. Now, this is not to say that we are a monolith either, but just to say there is a certain identity and experience to being Black, right? So, in essence, being Black is very multifaceted. It is more than just your skin tone. I really need people to understand that. I really, like, I don't know why that's so hard. I get why we feel we need to gatekeep. I do believe we need to gatekeep, but I also firmly believe you don't get to tell someone that they can't be something if their ancestry says that it is within them. Now, if they choose to not identify as such, then we don't need to be claiming them. Pope Leo and his whole family said they white. That is what they are. He has diasporic grandparents, and that's it. So he is not black. Stop claiming him as black. It's okay. We don't have to have a black pope. It's really okay. Especially y'all that ain't even Catholic. Why does it matter? But on any note, I just want to get that off my chest because I am like y'all are annoying with this. Ever since Sinners came out and the whole Mary dialogue, cause she ain't black enough. That's a white woman. But in 1935, she wasn't. She passed, but she wasn't. All right, y'all. Have y'all a beautiful, wonderful rest of the evening, and I will holler at y'all later.